Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. I wanted to make a quick video talking about um, fiber things. I wanted to show my progress on a cardigan, and I'm using a technique that I will show. And I have some patterns that I have in a folder, and there's a book near me. So it shows some patterns that I would like to knit. I won't be able to get to all of them this season, but I feel like there will be maybe one more Alafasopi garment this year, aside from the one that I'm knitting on right now. And I wanted to convert that into a cardigan. So I wanted to show the Sariola cardigan. I'm making it into a cardigan, so you see that the sleeve is here. And I really wanted to use the Ladderback Jacquard method for catching the floats in this area. The color work is almost finished, so as it's nearing the ends, there's less and less color work, and there are areas where there's over like 13 stitches of the main color before it gets to the contrast color. So I thought it would be a good place to do the Ladderback Jacquard method, and I'm happy that I did it with this. As you can see, it's not getting pulled on by the contrast color. Um, Depending on what well, I sometimes keep my floats shorter or longer. It depends on what I'm knitting on. And for areas where there are over 13 stitches, um, and there would be a case where I would catch it and I'm sorry, a little less than that too, where I would catch the floats. So this is what I've done. And when I first started doing the Ladderback Jacquard method, I did mark it, and then the stitches, well, the stitch markers are now on the other side, but towards the beginning I could definitely see that this is where they're laddering. Um, because I do the other, well, I catch my floats in another way too. So you could see that that's where the laddering is, and this is specific to this method. So I'll tuck my finger where the laddering is, and as you could see, the stitches where you're catching the floats, because these are the floats on the other side, you could see that they're not tugging on the main color So they're suspended, and I think that is something that would be ideal for these areas of your projects where you can catch them and there's multiple rounds where you can ladder them. I did place them in specific areas. I did start it off pretty early, but then as I got further into the gaping area where there isn't the contrast color on the front, um, it was already visible of where the laddering would take place. So I'll just show that. So with this color here, or the contrast color stitch here, that's part of the pattern. But then I'm coming up on the laddering stitches, and that would be the next one that you see that it's still on the needle. So I'm gonna knit the main color that's part of the chart, and you'll see this isn't clear for, well, you'll see on the other side, since that's the side that I'm showing, that this stitch is, again, it's suspending on the back. So when I let that stitch off the needle, it's not attached, because in order to keep it separate and not attached to your work, you're moving your yarn out of the way so that you could catch it, and then you have it behind your work. And get to the other one too. And I still use the other way of catching floats, but it's definitely convenient and great to know different ways of how to catch your floats and different ways of doing certain things when you're knitting. So I'm coming across another ladder, and I'm just gonna pop the main color to the front. So now it's to the front, and just stitch the contrast color float again to catch it, and you'll see that they're being caught here, and you'll just continue on the pattern, and I'm coming across another stitch with the contrast color in the pattern. So I'll just stitch it. So you'll be able to feel and see where the Ladderback Jacquard method is being used because the other stitches are suspended like that. They feel like they're part of the work. And it's nice. So I'm seeing my work and I'm not gonna pull too hard, but it's not being aggravated or like not aggravated, but it's not being tugged on by if the if you were to constantly catch the stitches. So this pattern has the raglan decreases, and then I'll do the sleeves. I have 3 of these cakes, but I've almost finished the first one. I might need a 4th one if I do the full length sleeves, which I may potentially do. So I crop a lot of garments, but there are other ones that I would like to keep full length. And this is a cardigan, so I feel like it would be nice to have a full length cardigan. And if anything, if I don't get another skein, I might do like 3/4 length sleeves, but I feel like I would like the full length. Um, so that's coming from the Knitted Kill Volume 2. I've shown this in a couple videos. I love these books. Jenna Koskett, the knitwear and Finnish knitwear designer, she's coming out with a volume 3. I'm not sure when she's coming out with it. This one came out in August, and I got it from Lana Publishing. Um, there was an American seller, the Woolly Thistle, that's also selling it, but the second that this got released, I um, bought it from the Lana Publishing, and they were super accommodating because I did end up moving um, quite a bit, and so I had to ship it somewhere else, and I was initially going to send it to my parents, but then they were going overseas for a couple of months, so I had to I had to ship it somewhere else. And I got this. I was happy that it didn't require a signature or anything. So, oh, I, I do want to knit this one. I love the animal ones. So, if there is another one that's closer. So this one is and some of her text or poetry is in here. So that's the name of the Tuonela River. And there are stories that are associated with these patterns, and I love the connection with the lore and the inspiration behind the patterns. So there's that one. And um, so I would say for some of the patterns that are ending the color work, there tends to be almost like a gradient or more of a gap for the main colors of the contrast color. Um, Let me just show this. I'm pretty close. I've shown this in multiple videos. Well, before I show it, actually. So I would have to see the chart just to make sure, but there are there's some of the main color in there, so I don't know if I would do the laddering there, but um sometimes like you'll get longer floats so you can determine what you want to do there. This one is the test knit, and I like to just put it over a tank top because it's a cardigan and I made mine short sleeve so it goes around here. I typically wear it with like my black tank top and my black skirt, and I wear this over it, and it looks like the color of gems, like the yellow. So I really love this one. Um, this one, well, that was a test knit. I've shown this project for since like the summer. I just needed to test knit the yoke, but I'm technically like if I wanted to stop the garment at the length that it's at, it would be a length where it would be full size for me, and then I would do ribbing and it would fit me. But I was trying to make it more of like a unisex one where if I were to gift it, it would be um, kind of giftable. Like if I were to give it to somebody taller than me. So I was going to add like maybe 5 more inches on it. I might do the sleeves. I'm not going to do long sleeves because the inspiration for this pattern was to use scraps. So I'm just using what I have. Now that I look at it, I don't think I have 5 inches and sleeves worth in here. But I was going to do short sleeves anyway. I'm going to see where it stops actually on me. I might add a couple of rounds of the sleeves, and then that'll determine how long the body will be. So there's a chance that maybe it will be my size, but I'm not sure. I could see maybe. I were to try this one on, but let me, I don't have anything to, well, I'm gonna drop stitches, but I could just pick them up. But I do like it, and maybe I would wear it a couple times and then gift it. I don't know, but I just feel like it's a pattern that could be universal, and I'm not saying like you like colors are specific to gender or patterns are specific to gender, but this might be easier to gift than other patterns or other things that I might have. So let me try it on. So I'm definitely going to add a couple of inches for the sleeves because it's pretty short. I'm gonna probably add it like up to here, maybe like there to see. But it is an anomaly. Well, it's strange for me because it's actually full length and that doesn't usually happen with my garments. I would say I'm picky with it because I don't do shaping usually. I don't usually do shaping after the yoke. And so um, I knit it to a certain length and then once it reaches my hips, sorry, my hips, it like changes. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna do shaping in the for well, I'll probably do something in the future because I like to try different things. But um, I'll do the black for the sleeves because I don't have much of this was like scrapyard, but it definitely fits. So um, I don't mind it, but I feel like I this could be like something that's giftable because it feels more like unisex. So I could maybe, well, I would keep it for however long because when the time comes, then I'll be able to gift it. Um, but this is what it is. And I'm trying to just envision it with the sleeves because their sleeves are just kind of not there right now. Because the black is at the bottom and here it is a wider neck. This was a blind test knit, but um, I still enjoyed it. It was uh, an experience too because when I tried using Google Translate, it really didn't translate some of the words. So some of the words were like, um, we're saying like candle. There, it was saying like road, like different words that aren't related to knitting. Some of them you could kind of see what they were trying to translate it to, but some of them were so out there. Luckily, there's a chart there. I was just going off of the chart and I'm sorry, and what I knew about like the construction of the top down sweater because of the translations, and I was seeing where to do the increases for the yoke. But then after that, it was fine, and it was a long test knit for just doing the yoke. So, I mean, I had a while to figure those things out, but I'm happy that I was able to, and I gave the information that what I did and how it came out and everything. So I'm just pulling it down. It's not tight or anything, but I'm just trying to see the sleeves on this too. So um, I think it's almost there. It's past my stomach, and that's without the ribbing too. So it might be an okay place. I still want to try to knit on it more. I'm actually going to go back to my other garment, and I finished this one. It's again the autumn lark. And so I'm gonna catch or put the stitches back on the needles because there's a lot of them that aren't on the needles anymore because I just put it on. Sorry. I'm just seeing if I think I'm gonna add like maybe not 5 inches but a little more because I'm going to use some of the yarn for the ribbing, and then I will need it for the sleeves too. I do have a skein that is like a charcoal color, and I'm using the Patagonia Anthracite colorway for the main color, but um, if I needed to, I could see if I would go for that, but right now I'm just trying to finish off what I have. I'm just gonna, well, I'll show some of the patterns, and I might knit on this a little bit. Well, I'm gonna pick up the stitches because I did drop a lot of them since I just tried it on. So I dropped, so you see the needles here, and these are the ones that I dropped. So I got the stitches back on the needles, and now keep this near me. But I have other things. So I've shown this. This is like the folder that I carry around. And then I have another like accordion folder organizer that I mainly keep the patterns that I've already knit up in there, but I have this one. I will maybe organize it more, but this folder has patterns that I would like to knit, and of course I didn't print out everything even though it's full. Um, but there are other patterns in here that I knit up that I would like to knit again, and some of them I've already knit multiple times and I still want to knit it again. This one has the main projects that I'm knitting on right now, and it does have a area where there's like paper. So there's a lot, well, some of them are multiple pages, and I didn't just knit it, or I didn't just print them from one printer. So there were a couple places where I did knit this, or I keep saying knit, where I did print the patterns from. This one I was thinking I would actually do. It was on my mind, and you know if there's a close-up picture without the directions, but this is the Folklore Christmas stocking, and this one actually doesn't have the directions on the front. It has information that you could see on Ravelry, or if there's another website where they sell it off of. I've knit a couple of Christmas stockings using this pattern. I just enjoy this specific pattern. There are other ones that I've seen, but when I sometimes when I like something, I will knit it multiple times. So I have knit the, well, I've knit with the, well, I'm knitting with the Alpha Soapy yarn, and that's a bulkier yarn, so it's knitting up super quickly. It does require more skeins, so I am going to have to get more than what I would normally get, but I did want to knit more using that yarn. So I feel like I could maybe get one more Alapaslope knit in this year, or these cold seasons, because it's a super warm yarn that I feel like once it gets slightly cooler, but not like as cold, and I love the cold. Um, then I might want to go for other types of weights of yarn. Even though I'm currently knitting on this one is a like a sport DK with the yarn that I'm using because I'm using a US 3 for this one. This one I'm using like a US 6. So there are already the lighter weight yarns, but I found a bulky yarn that I really like. There's also another bulky yarn that I picked up too. So not super recently, but pretty recently. And I'm still figuring out what I'm going to knit from that. I kind of want to knit a cabled sweater, but it might be for a while. It might not be for a while, so I don't know if I'm gonna go for that, but so this one, it was a free pattern. I printed it out right away because it I didn't want to lose it on my like the tabs that I keep open, and I keep so many tabs open. I don't really try I don't really try not to keep too many tabs open. But this one is a batons pattern, and so this one is the Nomad Fair Isles knit sweater. I like that there's runes on this one, and if it's so it's top down. So this is the pattern here. And this is also using a bulkier yarn. So I don't know if I'm gonna get to this pattern right away, but I do want to knit on it. So I have a booklet, and it's like a Reynolds magazine, and the pattern that is in here, well, I wanted to knit a lot of the patterns, but the Reynolds Icelandic fashions for men and women, Icelandic Lopi wool. So Alafas Lopi is one of the Lopi wools of the Icelandic. Um, it's made from Icelandic wool, and Reynolds. It used to be called Reynolds until it was called Alafas Lopi. So this pattern was like different names and from different sources because I was trying to find this pattern in a source that I could get it from because I mainly saw it in I think it was like Norwegian books that I couldn't find. So there are two versions of the sweater that I will make into a cardigan. So This is the cardigan version. And then there's the men's version. But I feel like for me, would I might want to do like a larger version for me. So I will knit a larger version for myself. And I did want it to be more substantial so I could have it be roomier. And so I will have that one as my next bulky knit because I really wanted to knit that one for a long time. This is let's see. So this is one of the more traditional ones. It's the Marius sweater, and this is provided by, or it's using the Sadness Brigand, and that's a yarn. So I don't know if you could see that. It's blurry, sorry, but it's one of the traditional ones. But going from different weights, I don't know if I should show this because the webcam will pick up the close-up, and the close-up that is here is like the color, well, the chart for it. You wanted to see the pattern, but maybe I'll pull up the pattern on my Ravelry because you won't be able to see it on the page. This is another pattern by Tetty. There's a couple of them that I wanted to do, but this one is the Florarium sweater. There's another one that came out more recently that I really, really, really wanted to do, so I might wait on that one. I don't know. So, and I get some of the patterns more like I get them right away in case it gets published in a book and then I won't be able to get it unless I buy the book. Sometimes the book isn't available to me. So this is another one that I saw that I really wanted to knit too. I just saw this today before I started filming, and it's the Henny Penny chicken sweater. So I just thought that that would be something that I really wanted to knit, but let me see. Well, the ones that I have on my Ravelry, of course I want to knit them because I purchased them. And it was definitely not at once. So it's called the flea cardigan, or it's Damejaka Lopa, Tamejakkalopa, a lady's cardigan. So you can use different colors. That is a combination that somebody has done. And it's the flea cardigan because you see at the body area, there's like the places where you put the contrast colors, so it looks like pattern um, within the garment. This is one where a knitter did a drop shoulder. So you'll see here the drop shoulder in this area, and you'll see the flea cardigan area, why it's called that. So I won't be able to show like everything that I want in it, but there are so many that I know will take years to get to, but the main one that I want to knit the soonest is the Bifurca pullover. This is the another one by Teti, and I really want to knit this top because I don't have that top that is that style in my knitted wardrobe, and I am kind of patient, but I'm kind of like antsy because I want to start on that project, but I wouldn't say I don't have yarn for it. I could use different yarns, but I am intentional with the types of yarns that I choose for the projects, and I want to make sure that when I finish knitting the project that I'll want to wear the garment over and over and over again. So I would rather wait till I feel like it's the yarn that I want to choose for it. And since it's like 50 minutes, my internet has been it hasn't been fast lately, especially as it's getting into the colder times of the year. And last night I tried to upload like a reading for my other channel because I do Ukrainian readings, and I was uploading, well, it was like around 3 in the morning because that's I'm still awake by then. It's actually 4 a.m. right now. So I was trying to upload it and I kept it going. Like I kept something playing and I had it on mute. I mean, sometimes I have stuff running, will have stuff like playing while I'm sleeping, but I was hoping that it would be at least uploaded by the time I woke up, and it wasn't even close to being uploaded. And a couple times I lost internet connection, so it didn't get uploaded until like next afternoon. So, or that coming afternoon after that. Um, I said that strangely. It was the same day. It was the afternoon that day. And I'm hoping that this will be a night where it's not like that because last night it was storming too. So I'll keep it at as it is. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in another video. Bye.